Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are celebrities speaking out against Oprah Winfrey. So, Oprah Winfrey is back in the news today for a couple of reasons, but they all surround the release of the new musical remake of The Color Purple. While doing press for the new film starring Taraji P. Henson, The Little Mermaid's Hailey Bailey, Peacemaker's Danielle Brooks, and Fantasia Barrino making her silver screen debut, Oprah Winfrey was a star of the original version of the film from 1985, and she's a producer of this reboot. While speaking with The View earlier this week, Oprah appeared to drop some major shade towards both the film and the people involved on that show. One of the hosts of The View is, of course, Whoopi Goldberg, who is not only a hilarious woman, but was also a major player in the original version of Color Purple. In fact, herself and Oprah Winfrey had a very silly feud back in the day, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The show producers were upset to see that Oprah would not be appearing alongside the cast of the film on an episode of The View from last week. Whoopi Goldberg introduced the crew on an all-purple set, and they were on the show to talk about the movie, their careers, and the producers had hoped that Oprah Winfrey would make an appearance and allow the show to market itself as a reunion episode. Whoopi actually makes an appearance in the new film and has appeared on set, but with no Oprah in sight. The reason that The View is particularly annoyed with Oprah's absence is because she has been appearing on other talk shows to promote the film. Oprah has appeared on The Drew Barrymore Show and Sherri Shepherd's Sherri. Around the same time, Oprah gave a candid interview with People magazine about her recent weight loss and how she was aided by medication, but let's talk about The View for a minute. Despite her absence from the episode, it was well received, and Whoopi said that she felt a strong connection with the people who actually did show up. As I mentioned earlier, Oprah has been making rounds to the talk show circuit. She was on The Drew Barrymore Show. The host, Drew Barrymore, was beyond excited that Oprah was there to be her special guest. During the interview, Drew was very touchy-feely, and because the internet is the way that it is, people called for her to be cancelled. Let go of Oprah, lady! But as it turns out, Oprah was not only okay with this, but it actually made her feel more comfortable to talk about her personal life on top of the film. But this appearance sparked some backlash. Like, why was she on this show but not The View with Whoopi Goldberg? Back in the day, Whoopi Goldberg was nominated for an Oscar for her part in the original Color Purple, and according to author Kitty Kelly, she became enemy number one to Oprah Winfrey. Rumors were spread, and the book noted that following the nomination, Whoopi actually never made an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show, which was odd considering at one point Oprah invited the entire cast of the original movie onto her show to celebrate. She also notably let Whoopi off of the guest list of her 2006 Legends Ball, which saw a ton of A-list celebrities in attendance. Oprah and Whoopi eventually ran into each other at a party thrown by Tyler Perry a few years later, where they supposedly squashed any beef that existed between them. Either that never actually happened or something new has taken place, since Oprah and Whoopi are still never seen in the same room together. But it's not just Whoopi Goldberg who seems to take issues with Oprah's attitude. One of the stars of the new film, Taraji P. Henson, delivered a tearful interview that touched on pay disparities for black women in Hollywood. This past week on Instagram, the Oscar-nominated actress acknowledged this social media response to her interview with Gayle King from SiriusXM Radio. During the interview, she expressed that she was just tired of working hard and getting paid a fraction of what she deserved. Posting on Instagram, she thanked her fans for their response to her message with compassion, understanding, and support. She shared a photo of herself and Oprah and wrote that this is so important for black women and all women of color to support each other. It is also imperative to have women of color in decision-making positions across all industries. While there were a lot of rumors circulating that Oprah Winfrey was some kind of a tyrant on set, those rumors were quickly squashed thanks to Taraji's post. She wrote under the photo that Oprah was nothing less than a steady and solid beacon of light to all of the cast members of The Color Purple. She provided encouragement, guidance, and unwavering support to everyone there. She concluded by saying that Oprah told her personally to reach out for anything that she needed, and she did. One call, one conversation, one decision making black women to make her feel heard. The tearful part of the interview came as King asked Taraji about past comments that the Empire actress made about contemplating leaving her acting career behind. She told King and her fellow guests that she was tired of hearing her sisters saying the same thing over and over again. She told the host that she hears people talk about how hard she works and that the math just isn't mathing. There is an entire team of people above her that make the majority of the money in the film industry, and she's voiced her frustrations that every time she does something and breaks through another glass ceiling, and when it's time to renegotiate, she's just at the bottom again, like she didn't do what she just did. And it wears on your mental health because the question is, why? Like, what does it mean for you as an actor? Gabrielle Union backed up her claims, saying that there was not a word of a lie told by this woman. In fact, Viola Davis from The Woman King King reposted this clip to her Instagram simply with the caption, "This," and a few hands pointing up. A little while back, Taraji was seriously considering leaving the US altogether, living in another country. Considering how stellar of an actor she is along with the rest of the cast, Hollywood really needs to get their act together and pay their people. The strike should hopefully push Hollywood in the right direction, but we may not know for a long time. For anyone interested, The Color Purple comes out on Christmas Day in theaters everywhere, and I will be checking it out. As mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, Oprah received a ton of backlash this year for a few reasons. Most recently, it was because she told the world that her weight loss was the result of medication rather than natural work. The backlash was swift and not unwarranted, as Oprah literally started Weight Watchers, which is a company that encourages weight loss through behavioral changes, nutritional science, and real connections. Instead of encouraging people to eat better and make positive changes, she told the world to literally take a chill pill. She is not only a member of the company still, but she claims to follow the practices to this day. Considering she's almost 70 years old, we can understand her feeling the need to shift from being physical to using medication. She addressed the backlash and told people that she was just done with all of the hate from people, and particularly herself. The medication is approved by the FDA as a prescription for managing weight and staying healthy, and in her lifetime, this feels like a relief rather than a burden. Her goal with taking the pills is to take down the stigma surrounding them, as well as granting her a chance to live a healthier life. However, earlier this year, Oprah received an insane amount of backlash after announcing that she was going to be helping the people of Maui. Oprah and Dwayne Johnson announced that they would be starting the relief fund for the victims of the Maui wildfires. The People's Fund of Maui was given a solid $10 million to get off the ground, $10 million donated by Oprah and Dwayne combined. So why is it just Oprah that received so much hate online? Well, it's because she has a net worth of like $2.8 billion. That's billion with a B. The world is collectively furious at Oprah for having the audacity to ask working class citizens for charity when most people can barely afford to put food on their own tables. Dwayne Johnson and Oprah donated $5 million each to give the fund a head start. Well, guess what? $5 million to Oprah Winfrey is like $500 to us. That is chump change. The world is understandably frustrated. Imagine someone with a physical gold bar around their neck asking you for spare change on the street, like, "Hey, what's that thing around your neck? It's shiny. It makes me feel bad about myself. Maybe use that." Thankfully, the fund has actually been a pretty positive thing for the people of Maui. Dwayne Johnson appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast a few weeks ago and explained that the fund has been helping families affected by the fires by granting them $1,200 a month per person in their household, meaning that some families are receiving like $5 or $6 grand every month, which is a lot. Thousands of people across the island are no longer living in fear or stress about how they're going to afford to live following the devastating wildfires that took out a large portion of the island this year. Oprah's involvement really should not be the focus, because point instead focus on the terrible things that she's done outside of the Maui thing, okay? Let's not forget what her show really was. Oprah used to bring the most vulnerable people she could find onto her show to share their stories, and while some were just actors or people sharing some positive stories, there were also so many people who would just cry on her show. Let's not forget the other careers that this woman is responsible for creating, especially programs with some of her buddies like Dr. Phil. Oprah is not just responsible for many hopes being squashed live on air, but she is also the creator of many talk show celebrities like Dr. Oz and, as I just mentioned, Dr. Phil. Now, before Dr. Phil had his own show, Oprah had asked him and his courtroom consulting firm to help him with a trial. Before meeting Oprah, Phil apparently had zero interest in being a television personality, but Oprah made him see the light, so to speak. According to Phil, she helped him understand the power of the shows and what they were truly made for. Now, for Phil, he brings people onto his show who are struggling with personal issues that just so happen to be good for TV. Remember the Catch Me Outside girl? Dr. Phil made her famous. But it's not just Dr. Phil that's had some controversial moments. Her other protege, Mr. Oz, Dr. Oz has had some pretty rough moments. His show is centered around medicine and health, bringing so-called experts on every week. My mother loved this show. Oprah Winfrey was partnered with both of these people, meaning that whatever their shows made, she got a little bit of something for her troubles. She doesn't like to tell us how much she actually made from those programs, but considering how many episodes they have and how long they've been running for, it's probably quite a bit. And that's all the new Oprah stuff I've got for you today. Thank you for stopping beyond the screen. Drop a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and follow our channel for more celebrity content every day. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.